My name is Weldon Darnell Pitts. I am the second out of 11 children for Florence Dolores Scott Griffith. And my sister Flojo, world's fastest woman, she was number 7 out of 11 of us. And as Lil Larry asked me earlier, some of the questions and stuff, all I can say is young people, if any young people with determination of wanting to go out there and do something, if you're listening to this, go and do it. Keep your dream alive. Keep your faith in God only, not man, in God only. And keep striding. You'll make it. It may take a while, it may not, but you'll still make it.
All right, so I'll give you, I guess, look right here.
Okay.
Yeah. So who are you?
I am Weldon. I am the second oldest in the family. And what you want to know?
Second oldest in the family, so how many children?
There was 11 of us.
All right. Second oldest. All right.
Out of 11. And all of them was interesting coming up. Every last one of them.
And, okay, tell us about everyone's interesting, so tell us about yourself. What?
Myself?
Yes.
I'm a suave, debonair, jokester. I like to joke around. I like to keep people laughing. I don't like to see people upset. I don't like to see people hurt. I like to help as much as I can if I see that help is needed. I worked 30 years driving the public transportation. I started in Dallas, Texas in the 70s, and I ended up back out here in LA, and I finished in 2006.
All right, let's go back a little bit. And your education, what schools did you attend?
I went to Alpine Elementary, which is out in Little Rock, California. But prior to that, I went to Tibby's, and Tibby's is in Compton. That's where I did my, I guess, from kindergarten to 4th or 5th grade. Then we moved to Little Rock. I went to Alpine, and when we left Little Rock, we came back to LA, and I went to Bunch for a short time, left Bunch, went to Drew, left Drew, went to Markham, finished at Markham, then went to Jordan, finished at Jordan, then went to Compton Junior College and did 1.5 years of it. And I was finished with school.
And when you started driving the buses for RTD, you said you started that in
I started at 81.
In 81. Okay. And so you mentioned Jordan High School.
Right.
All right. And I know Auntie Dee attended Jordan High School as well.
Right.
All right.
The whole family did.
The whole family did.
Yeah, the whole family went to Jordan.
Okay. And you guys were living in the Jordan Downs projects?
Right.
Okay. And so let's talk about Auntie Dee, because I know I've seen that picture of Auntie Dee wearing the Jordan outfit, track outfit, and she was, I guess, in middle school, or that was high school?
That was high school. She had a Jordan outfit on.
Okay.
Yeah, she's been a runner ever since she was little. But I heard that they had a football game at Jordan one year, and somebody had snatched the lady's purse. And before the police could catch that person, Dee Dee had caught him. Right. Before he could get away, she caught him. I wasn't there for it, but I heard about it from quite a number of people. And
that's really interesting because, wow.
Yeah, she caught him, or caught the person before they got away. And she's been running, like I said, she's been running all her life. She started with the Jesse Owens Club in the projects prior to running at home in the desert. We ain't had no clubs to run in, we just ran. And she was a runner. She was, when we was in the projects, there were quite a few young ladies that was running. They were all running, even the other sister, Auntie Sissy. She was fast. She was fast. They had quite a few fast girls back then that ran with Auntie Dee. And a couple of them, they were, at that time, they were pretty fast. They were pretty fast. But she's the one that kept pursuing it, pushing it, you know, doing what needed to be done, and she's the one that prevailed.
All right, Unc, so you said there are 11 children.
Right.
And name them for us.
The first one is, his name is Bobby Juro. And then it's me, Weldon. Then it's Vivian, Kathleen, Robert, Elizabeth, Florence, Joseph, Lemuel, Gail, and Eugene.
And that's in order.
That's in order.
All right.
Straight in order. Mm-hmm.
So, Unc, what do you think about Tiffany Haddish portraying Auntie Dee Dee?
I don't think that's, me personally, I have nothing against the young lady. She's a good comedian. She's funny. She's an upcoming good one. But as far as portraying my sister, no. I just don't see it. I mean, no, I just can't see it.
Right.
I just don't see it. No.
Right.
I don't see it. And I have reasons, but, you know, I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it. No.
Is there any actress who you can think of who would be?
But she's an old actress now, to whereas she can't play. I mean, she probably can act, but I don't think, you know, that she fit the part. And that's
You gonna say Jasmine Guy?
Yeah, Jasmine Guy. Yeah. Or better yet, if they want to do something, we got a lot of young people out here that's trying to become stars, you know? And we got a lot of people out here. I've seen a couple of young ladies that looked pretty close to my sister, you know, as far as looks-wise. It needs a little teaching, you know? Give a person a chance. But if you're going to portray someone, try to get as close as you can to the actuality of them, you know? And I just don't feel as though Miss Tiffany would fit that criteria. I don't think so.
I agree, you know, because when I first was introduced to this idea, some friends of mine on social media, Instagram and Facebook, they learned that Tiffany Haddish was going to play Auntie Dee Dee, and so they sent me links, and they said, "What do you think about this? What are your thoughts?" And initially, I thought no, because Tiffany Haddish doesn't look like Auntie Dee Dee.
Right.
But you know, Mom said that you know, Tiffany Haddish had been inspired by Auntie Dee Dee, and she had put pictures of Auntie Dee Dee up on her walls for inspiration throughout her life, and and so that alone was important, as far as the connection between Tiffany and Auntie Dee Dee.
Well, that's good, and I know that she's inspired and a lot of young ladies out there, you know? I mean, you look at the world of track. I mean, every time I see track, I start to get a little weak and stuff, you know what I mean? A little sober, you know? Because I know my sister's the one that changed the face of that, you know? And like I say, I have nothing against Tiffany. She's tough. It's a beautiful thing, you know? But I just don't think, I mean, it's just me. Some just tells me that I don't see her fitting that part. Okay. You know, I mean, I'm not taking nothing away from her. You love my sister, that's good. She inspired you, that's good. You know, but baby, I don't see you playing that part. I just don't.
Now let's talk about Auntie Dee Dee's genius. You know, I've studied and I've learned that there are multiple intelligences. People have different intelligences from, you could be book smart, you could be, I guess, musically inclined, and then physicality. It takes genius to move the body and to, Kobe Bryant,
Right.
Michael Jordan. These men are geniuses.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
And Auntie Dee Dee's genius with regard to her body,
Right.
and mastering her physicality. I remember going with Kalisha, very often to the track to watch Auntie Dee Dee exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And her routines and her regimen was very strict. So what can you say about what you witnessed and what you knew about Auntie Dee Dee's training regimen?
She tried to do things the right way as far as what you put in your body. She ate right, some of the food I wouldn't touch. I told her, but she would, she ate right. She did her exercise right. She was determined, and I saw that because she used to call me out to race her when she was young. And she knew she couldn't beat me, but she would constantly call me out because she wanted to race. And we'd get out in the middle of the street and race, And I have the sister that's right in front of her, Sissy, Auntie Sissy. She'll tell you, I raced her one day backwards, and I beat her. And while I was running, telling her to kick, that's what she was doing. She was kicking, But she was smart as far as what she knew what to do, because after the '84 Olympics, she knew what she had to do. Because I known that the 400 and the 200, those were things that she was running. And I knew that she was running those things. When she ran that 100, I was working, and I had a little TV with me on my bus. Excuse me. I had to stop my bus to make sure to see that again. I didn't know nothing about her running no 100. That was a total shock to me. But that's how determined she was, because she brought that 100 in, and look what she did with it. Yeah.
And there's also the Williams sisters, Venus and Serena Williams. They're genius.
Mm-hmm.
And now Simone Biles, the gymnast. And there are monumental achievements.
Right. Well, like your auntie said, and she used to tell people, the youngsters, a lot. You don't give up on your dream. You keep going. It's determination. Because it's out there for any and everybody. It really is. You may not get the same type of treatment as some of them, but it's out there. It's out there for a person to get, and enjoy. And I look at the type of endurance that she did for her body and all. I couldn't have done it. Not me. And I was a runner. But I didn't run in school. I didn't run for anything. I ran from things. But anyway, she her determination showed me how smart she was, because she never gave up. Never. She constantly strives. And like I say, I didn't know where that 100 came from. I don't know where it came from.
Now, my mom has told me that Auntie Dee Dee was very spiritual. She kept her Bible with her.
Yes. We would talk and converse as far as over the phone. When we see each other, we would always bring God into the family, or into the message, because that's how we were taught.
Yeah. Every Thursday we had a powwow. Every week a different child opened the meeting up with a prayer. And they had to read a scripture from the Bible. When my kids got 8 years old, they got their own Bibles. I knew they could read then.
Every Thursday night like clockwork. No phone calls, no people coming to the doors, nobody visiting or anything. And we would sit down She would have us all sit down on the couch, and she would sit in a chair, and we would start off with singing verses of church hymns and things. Then we would sit there and say a Bible verse. Each one of us had to learn a Bible verse. And then we would say a prayer. And then she would go through and tell us the things that we had done during the week that we weren't supposed to have done. And let us know what the punishment was going to be.
Okay.
That's how we were taught. You know, I mean, we had times to whereas we would have big storms out in the Mojave Desert, and when you heard the crackling of the thunder and the lightning, my mom had our dad had a big chair, and I mean it was a big chair, and every time that the thunder and lightning would come, my mom would tell us, she said, "Come on, let's go." And we knew what she was talking about. She'd sit in that big chair, and all of us that were there at the house, and at that time it was me, Vivian, Cat, Robert, Sissy, Dee Dee, Joe, Liam. It was 8 of us up in the Mojave Desert area at that time. And we would all get in that chair, and we would comfort all around, surround her in that chair, you know? And she'd have the Bible, and she'd open up certain scriptures, and she'd read to us. And she'd let us know certain things about, you know, what's happening and all this. And she installed God into us at a very young age. I mean young, because I look at where I am now, things that's happened to us and our family and stuff. There's nothing but God with us, you know? That 91 years old, getting ready to be 92, you know, she was a smart thing. She was a smart woman. I thank God for her. Why things happen, I know we all have to leave here, but I don't think she left. She just, you know, she's resting, but her soul is with my mama. It's still in my mom. Because my mom is still strong at 91 years old, driving, doing what she wants to do, go where she wants to go if she wants to, you know. So I thank God for it, and I think that a lot of, with Florence being named after my mom, I think a lot of her went back into my mom, you know. And she still lives on. She still lives on. Just like her record lives on. I don't care what nobody say. You got to beat that first. You can be fast, and there's a lot of them out there that's smoking. But until you get that record, she is the fastest. So,
she was number 7 of the 11 children.
Right, number 7.
That's a very interesting coincidence.
Number 7.
Numerological.
She wasn't lucky. She was blessed.
Okay.
She was a blessing. You know, and what burns me up is how people get out here and they turn things around, or it's just part of life. How people try to always throw in negative stuff. You know, when they say she was on the drugs and stuff. Well, however this documentary...
The drugs meaning steroids.
Right. However this documentary goes, or if you listen, or even if you edit it out, whatever, I'm the one that did the drugs. Nobody else in the family did. So they looked at the big bro and they said no. They said no. They wasn't doing it. Because I explained to them.
Okay.
I explained to them.
Yes.
When I came off or came down,
yes,
you don't mess with that.
Yes.
Leave that alone. Don't do that.
Yes.
No. And they all listened.
Okay.
They all listened. She didn't mess with anything. In fact, I was going through some problems as far as with my knee and my back, which I still am.
Yes.
And my sister told me, whatever you do, she said, don't mess with them steroids. Coming from Compton in the 50s and seeing how it was, I mean, you can holler about prejudice all you want to, racism and stuff, you know what's happening. But at the time that I was going to school in Tibby's, it wasn't that many blacks. We were surrounded by the whites. We got along with the whites. You know, the fathers, they cutted their grass at a certain day of the week. Kids came out and played while the dads was cutting the grass, you know? And even though we were I think we were. My mom said we were the second black family in the Compton at the time. Going back to Compton when we left, and then still coming up around in the areas, you know, as I was growing up, it's a lot of potential. A lot of potential in Compton. A lot. You know, it's a lot in all of our neighborhoods, really.
Yes.
You know, but you have to take advantage of it. You know, you have to go out there and get what you want. We've always had a cover over us that shouldn't be over us. You know, but some of them that come from under that cover.
Yes.
And Dee Dee was one of those.
Yes.
You know, in fact, all of us were, because I look back at the families that was in Compton and in Watts at the time coming up. Oh, it's a whole bunch of them that's prosperous, doing real well, very well.
Yes.
I mean, very well. You know, so you got those that shine and those that don't want to shine, but they're still doing good.
Yeah.
You know, and my thing is, it's a lot of people, especially blacks. There's a lot of blacks out there with potentials. You know, why they don't use them? When you find out, let me know. But in the meantime, I don't know. I don't know why they don't use it or why they don't put it to good use. Their minds, you know. But it's out there for them. It's out there for them. And all those that have it, I'm proud of them. And those that's going after it, I'm even prouder of them. You know. I mean, it's something that I've always seen us. I've always seen us as a race advancing or always being on top. You hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you. Them Lakers fans thought they was gonna win. Must be crazy. I should have had on my Jordan shirt. Let them know. Jordan High School, all the way. Bulldogs. Somebody bought them a new car from Carvana.
No, this is your car here.
Right. Yeah.
You have a special license plate.
Not no more. I have it, but I haven't went to DMV to have it put on.
Can we see it?
Yeah.
What does that say?
It's supposed to say Flo's second kid, but our DMV can't pay attention that well, so they put Floss kid. But it's supposed to say Flo's second kid.
Flo's second kid.
That's what it's supposed to say.
So how would that happen?
This is supposed to be a 2.
Flo 2 kid. Okay.
Flo second kid.
Okay. Flo's
But
second
instead
kid.
it's Flo's kid.
Okay.
So, you know, at DMV, what can you say? They just don't know how to get it right.
My name is Kathleen Wiggs. I am number 4 out of a family of 11. And our sister was Florence Griffith Joyner, the fastest woman in the world, FloJo. And she strove to achieve her goals, and she did it. And it is important to know that you work hard and take one step at a time, you're going to get to where you need to go. gotta go back this way. You see how it's leaning? You gotta be careful, you can't pull that one. There we go. Now it's level.
So what am I supposed to do?
Put your seeds in here.
Wildflower seeds. Well, I was just thinking of just opening this up. I'm holding the camera, so if you could let me feel that. And just mix it into there. Just toss it in there. And just mix it on in there.
See, I got a leak down there.
A leak? Oh, a water leak over there?
That's why Daddy, I think Daddy recently turned that water on. Over there. Give me that tool over there.
What tool? Oh, on the ground?
Mm-hmm.
Not too many.
Oh, no.
Yep. Maybe I would just take my hand and just.
I don't know, my fingers get dirty. I've been in the dirt all day.
So my idea is it's going to naturally take root and then grow and flourish from there. Those other plants that you put in there, they had roots and they needed more space.
Well, I put them over there in that pot and that pot over there.
Okay. I think this is going to work. This is going to be an organic, or it's going to grow naturally, and it'll be stronger, hopefully, and probably very attractive, very beautiful too.
Yeah, it should be really nice. It should be real nice.
Yeah. Just grow right there.
See, look over here.
You covered those plants up. They look like they.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I just put the extra dirt in.
All right.
You come out.
Can you tell us what your name is?
My name is Kathleen Wiggs.
And what is your relationship to Florence Griffith Joyner?
I am number 4 in the family. And Dee Dee was number 7, which is a very important number. Number 4 don't mean nothing. But number 7, that's a very important number.
I talked to Uncle Weldon today. He said he's number 2.
Oh, okay.
So he's the second oldest brother. You are the 4th child.
Second daughter.
And the second oldest daughter. Okay. And where are you now?
In my backyard.
In your backyard. What are you doing?
Trying to make my backyard attractive.
Attractive?
Look good.
It's already attractive.
Enhance it even more so. Like, these are calanthos here.
What are they called?
Calanthos. These weeds and calanthos.
Okay.
They have a lot of calanthos in the front yard, but they died off.
So where did you go to school?
Jordan High School.
Jordan High School.
David started Jordan High School, where all of us went.
Well, all of you went. Yeah.
In the year.
Uncle Weldon said the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
before high school, what school did you attend?
Markham Junior High. First we lived in Little Rock, California. Then we moved from Little Rock, California, came back down to Los Angeles. So in the 6th grade, I went to Russell Elementary. Then I went to Drew for a minute.
Drew?
Drew
Drew.
for a second. And then I ended up going to Mona Park. I think it was Mona Park, but then we moved to the project. And then I went to Markham. Then I went to Jordan.
And you are my mother.
Yeah.
I am your son.
Yeah. What are you taping me for?
What?
What are you taping me for?
What am I taking you for?
Yeah.
No. Be careful, Mom. No, I'm just getting the story
This is
from
uranium.
firsthand. This is a big yard. So Mom would have me water. She would have me stand at this. For instance, she'd have me stand at this pot and water it for a minute or two. And then she'd want me to go and stand at this pot for a minute or two. And then another pot and another pot. And this whole yard here is filled with pots. All they need to be watered. And that's an exhausting task.
Yeah,
So I often gave up.
Possible now that you don't have to go that far.
True, that's true. It's different. It's different now. So, watering this area.
Water with that water over there because Daddy Joe had turned it off because we got a leak somewhere. When I was coming up, I got the opportunity to go to UCLA, and I made sure that Sissy and Dee came up there and visited me, stayed with me, and got to know what the campus was like, because I wanted them to go to school. And when one of my friends recently had said, Sheila, she said, I remember you used to send all your money home to your family. You remember that? My husband remembers that, what money I got. I made sure I had my books. I made sure I had what I needed for eating. There wasn't a problem. I was in the dorms. And just the basics. I had the basics. A pair of decent shoes, my books. And I went to school, and the rest of the money I sent home. So that when Dee Dee became Flojo, my older brother said, Dee Dee, buy me a house. Well, of course, she wasn't going to buy him a house. Vivian said, remodel my kitchen. She wasn't going to do that. She came to me and said, Kat, what do you want? I said, give me a diamond ring, because when I got married, we never had rings. I was a basic person, no frills person. So we got married. Your daddy went back to work, and I went back home, downtown LA. And we didn't buy rings. I didn't even think about that. I just knew you had to be married. And I was going to be married if I had a kid. Because I watched in the projects how girls were treated when they gave up the cookies, and they were treated like hell by the guys, calling them all kinds of names and telling them that wasn't their baby. And it was. I didn't want that sort of situation for myself. And my mother had sat us up in the window and she showed us that. I wasn't having that. And Vivian wasn't either. Vivian's been married 50 years now. Me, 45.
As you're telling this story, Uncle Joe just called, so that's another sibling who will have to get on record. But of course, Uncle Joe is a very private person. He's already said.
He always tapes people. So you have to be real tricky to tape him. And he's not going to let you have him on tape.
And which sibling or what number is Uncle Joe?
Bobby, Weldon, Vivian, Kat, Robert, Sissy, Dee Dee. No, he's number 8. Oh, I should have known that after Dee Dee. He came. And then Liam, 9. And 10 with Gail, and then Pancho, 11.
By the way, my name is Lemuel Griffin, Forrest Griffin Joner, brother of 11, 6 brothers and 5 sisters.
People want to know. People would like to hear from you.
Hear what? How close me and Flojo were?
Sure.
Very close. I was like the big brother, but the little brother. you know, whatever she wanted done or wanted to do, have done, that was me. You know, I mean, as far as working on her house, her car, riding bikes with her, running long distance with her, that was me. And it's hard to talk about her, but then again, it's good somebody want to find out a lot of things about her.
Right on.
So
I appreciate that, because I talked with Uncle Joe today, and he doesn't want to have anything to do with this project, and he told me off.
So I tell you about Uncle Joe. The sorriest brothers anyone can ever have.
That's cold. That's cold.
Uncle Joe is that type of guy. He think he's too good to share any of his life with anyone.
All right.
So, let alone invite you over to, you know, certain dinners or whatever he have. He never invite anyone over. He don't go to functions within the family. So, he's a very strange, different type of guy.
Well, from what he said, if I release that and put that on a video, then, you know,
I'll release anything. I'll be responsible for saying anything about that guy. Maybe he needs that in his life.
Okay.
If you want to know about Joe, ask me. I'll tell you.
Okay. Okay.
So.
All right. Thanks for contributing and supporting.
That was most definitely. Most definitely.
All right.
Like one time, Dylan and I were sitting at the dining room playing cards, and Joe ran out his bedroom and slammed the door and went out, went past us. And we looked at each other and we said, we better go see what he's been doing. And sure enough, we went in that bedroom, he had set the mattress on fire. So we were dragging the mattress out. He had gone down the street and got a neighbor to help. And the fire trucks came and all. My mother was at the barber shop with the other kids, and she said, that sounds like that must be my house. When she beat them to our house, and found out, sure enough, Joe was something else. But Joe, one time he's outside riding his bike. Next thing you know, he's sitting in the house, and this man come running. Is he okay? Is he all right? And Mama said, ooh, what are you talking about? He said, him. I just hit him on his bike. And Joe was, you know, he knew he was in trouble. He wasn't supposed to be probably where he was when he got hit. So he been running the house, trying to act like nothing was wrong. And Joe would go to the different houses up and down the street. He had a severe fascination with the water hoses. I don't know why. And then the other boys teased him. He got a shot vaccination and it turned. I guess it got infected or something. So we teased him and said, ooh, Joe's vaccination is Germany. He didn't like that. He got teased a lot.
I don't play the game. Just letting you know real seriously right now. Real talk. If you think I'm playing, try me. I get pleasure out of destroying people, Larry. I get pleasure out of destroying people. And I can put you on the list, Larry. I really don't think you want that to happen. You can go interview those people. You're interviewing crackheads and losers. Your Uncle Will looked like a crackhead. You're interviewing him. Your mother looked like she should be in a facility. And Liam looked like he's a recovering drug head. That's embarrassing, Larry. You're making them look bad. You ain't making yourself look bad. You're making them look bad. I saw that on YouTube a few minutes ago, Larry, and I got no good words to say about you, Larry. That's embarrassing, man. I would do that to my interview, man. To my enemy. You guys should have had a script ahead of time. But just letting you know, that's trash. What you're doing is trash, Larry.
Wow.
Yeah, so just letting you know that. So don't call me. I gave you some financial information as of today. The line is cut. I got no more communication with you at all, Larry. That's a wrap. I got nothing to do with you, man. You're laughing. Ask your mother and daddy. Ask your mother, how does Joe play? Ask her. Now, that's one person you ask him out. How does Uncle Joe play? He'll tell you. Joe, once he cuts you off, he'll never speak to you for life. And once I go for the gut, I go for the blood. I'm going to try to destroy you. Don't let me do that to you, Larry. Don't want to do it, bro. So cut me out. Don't mention Uncle Joe no more. You're not doing an interview with me. Never, ever. Anything I ever said that you use against me, I'm going to go to destroy you. Let you know. Call my bluff and say, I don't believe you, Joe. And just watch how fast you fall down. I'm not Liam or Robert. I ain't a crackhead. Don't smoke. Don't drink. I exercise. I'm not overweight. My body's in good shape. I'm controlling my whole body, Larry. So go do what you're doing, Larry, but play with them people. Don't play with me, all right?
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Wait a minute.
David Mack was a...
You name a lot of people. You named David Mack, Greg Foster, and Al Joyner.
I was Al Joyner's best man in the wedding, so I had to be somebody. Now that's God truth.
Right.
Now.
Those are
Flojo,
facts. Those are facts.
Yeah,
Documented.
yeah. And whatever Flojo needed, which I can't say on camera,
Right.
but I mean, you know.
Oh no, we don't. We're not gonna give away any.
No, but I was that person to call on. I mean, any sister of mine, a brother of mine, and brother-in-law, and cousins call on me. I'm not big, but I got a heart like a monster, if you want to know.
Well, I would say Lim was a disaster all the time. If he wanted something messed up, got messed up, but he's a perfectionist. On the other hand, yeah, like I said, we had a lot of laughter in the family. Always laughter. And if it wasn't laughter, there was crying because you're getting your butt beat. But before you got your behind beat, we would have powwows. Mama would sit us all in a circle, and she'd talk to each and every one of us about what she liked, what she didn't like, what she wanted to see, what she didn't want to see. And if you had done something so terrible, you got your behind whipped afterwards. Because I'd asked Dee Dee, I said, Dee Dee, you going to have powwows with your kids? She said, no, because all the time I got whipped afterwards. So I didn't get whipped. I major in do not whip me. If I could have avoided it. But it did get to a point one time as I was growing up that I looked forward to getting my butt beat because I was like, hey, I haven't gotten beat recently. I need to get beat. That's pathetic. So you can imagine that people really do fall in that sort of thing. But that was the thing, too, that I made sure when this guy and I were talking about getting married, he got drunk one time and we were coming from a party. And he told me he was going to beat my butt. And I was like, oh, my goodness, how did I get in this situation? So I told him he was a species, and he didn't know what the word species was. So I spent the time talking to him about that. It bought me enough time to get home. I got out that car, and I was never, ever in close confines with him again because that was not the route I wanted to go. I watched my mother and my stepfather fight forever, and I did not want that for myself. And thank the Lord I don't have it. And the thing was, when I had kids, I thought to myself, I can't just have regular kids. I have to have the perfect kid.
Now, Auntie Dee Dee often took Kalisha and I many places that I think our cousins were not privy to going. I think Auntie Dee Dee chose Kalisha and I because we were well behaved, better behaved, and I don't know, maybe easily accessible. Auntie Dee Dee could just say, Larry and Kalisha, come with me, let's go. And we were, it was okay.
Well, like I said, I thought you guys would be good children. I wasn't going to tolerate less. One time I took you guys to the market or to the store. I said, we're going to go into the store. And I had listened to Dr. What was the guy's name? That,
Schuler?
No, Dr. It starts with an S. I can't think of his name. Anyway, he was a well-known person to refer to when you're raising children.
Dr. Schwartz?
No, I don't think so. No, it's a different name. Anyway, I had listened to him. And so I took you guys to the store. And I told you to hold on to my clothes You could not hold onto my hands because I needed to have them free. And you were not to let go. So we were walking through the store, and I told you guys, don't ask for anything. Do not perform in the store. You guys started performing. I turned back out the store, got in the car, and on the way, I pulled over to the side of the street, and I said, time to get out the car. And you guys said, where are we going, Mommy? Not we, you. Get out my car now, because if you don't do what I tell you to do, you cannot live with me. Get out now. Oh, Mommy, I'll do what you tell me to do. Mommy, yes. So I never had any trouble at you guys.
Okay.
Because when I said something had to be done, you guys knew it had to be done the way I said do it. Although you were a different kid. Because I tell you do something right here.
Wow.
You might have to go over here. You never made it over there.
Well, this isn't about me, Mom.
No, it's not about you, but
This
good
is
gracious.
about Auntie Dee Dee.
Well, I'm glad that she always let you guys to go with her, but I didn't look at it like anything. But I made a point of making sure you guys knew you had to do right. Just like I taught you, somebody did something for you, you just said thank you. Sometimes you guys did go to different schools, but my mother was your first teacher. So again, you learned what was correct and didn't take it for granted, hidden garbage. Because the kids are like computers, garbage in, garbage out. So.
All right, so at this point, so you were talking about Grandma and how Kalisha and I, your children, your son and daughter, stayed with Grandma. Okay.
And that's the part where Al messed up by not letting Mary stay with Grandma, because she started off being with Grandma, and he let her go and stay with all other kinds of people.
All right, so there's a picture here with Uncle Weldon, Grandma, and you, Ma.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. Grandma, my mom, and Uncle Weldon. So, Uncle Weldon says, like a lot of people in the family were, runners. Auntie Sissy, Uncle Weldon said he didn't run for any team or for any. He ran from people.
Yeah.
And he
Because
said
they were always trying to beat him up. Run. He had to run. He was home first where everybody was. That boy was running.
And you were a runner as well.
I love running. I still love running. Legs don't really want to run though. I don't go out that much. But I love getting in the pool, jumping around.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we had to run, keep up with Grandma. Grandma moved fast, and to this date, 91 years old, still wearing heels. I don't wear heels that much. And Grandma can wear them. Yeah.
Uncle Weldon said that Auntie Dee Dee, there was an incident at Jordan High School when a woman's purse was snatched, and before the police could catch that person, Auntie Dee Dee chased that person down and was able to catch them.
And get the purse back?
I guess.
Well, she was able to get that jackrabbit in Little Rock, California. She caught a jackrabbit. We called her Lightning because she was zipping through the house. Zip, zip. We said, who was that? What was that? And Sissy, we called her Mama because she was in control. Washing, cleaning, cooking. She did everything. I didn't do that stuff. I was somewhere reading or doing something or creating something somewhere. Vivian did everything. Anything Mom could do, Vivian do. But she wasn't going to wash dishes. She wasn't going to clean. She wasn't about all that. And Sissy did it all. We all played a lot of games too. We played Monopoly. We played card games. So the dining room playing. Like then, Lim, Gail, and Poncho were like my babies before I went away to school. When I came back home from school my first year and trying to regain my status, there was no status to be regained. They had taken over that space and they had changed in that time, and they knew what their own power was. And Gail squat down and crossed her legs and closed her ears, eyes, and nose, or whatever. She just closed her ears and eyes, and she told me I could beat her till she died. She wasn't going to do what I told her to do. I was like, time for me to go.
Hi, I'm Gail Griffith. I'm FloJo's 5th sister, the 10th child of my mom's. And what else did you want?
That'll work.
Okay, that's it.
What time is it? Like I gave you. 5 o'clock. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm here, baby. I'm here.
All right, Auntie Gail.
Yes.
First, before you tell us, I want to ask you about Tiffany Haddish, but first I want to know, or tell us the birth order. Okay, so I asked, all right, so you're the 10th born.
Right.
The 10th born, okay. That's all I wanted to establish.
Okay, because you said it, and I was like, okay, so...
And the question I have for you is, what do you think about Tiffany Haddish playing Auntie Dee Dee?
I don't have a problem with Tiffany Haddish playing Auntie Dee Dee, or playing my sister.
Okay.
Yeah. As long as she does the story well, that it'll be good. I'm quite sure Al gave her plenty of information to go off of. And she's been working with Al for the past year and a half. So I think it'll be pretty good. Yeah. And that's it. She wanted to play FloJo. She wanted to train hard and she wanted to play her, so he's been training her.
Now, what were those powwows like every Thursday night?
You know what, Larry? There was a difference in my upbringing.
Yes.
Because of the age difference.
Yes.
Your mom is 12, 13 years older than I am.
Okay.
So Dee Dee and Sissy are 6 and 7 years older than I am.
Okay. Yeah.
So with them having powwows versus Liam, myself, and Poncho, I experienced them a little bit, but I barely remember.
Okay.
I only really remember one that stands out. Probably like 6 or 7.
Okay. Well, what my mom said was, she went away to UCLA, and she sort of had a certain status at home, especially over Uncle Poncho or Uncle Eugene, you, and Uncle Lim. And then when she went away to school and when she returned, she said that she lost that power. You covered your ears, closed your eyes, and said you could beat me until I'm gone, but I will not listen to you.
I probably did. I don't recall. I probably did tell her that because when your mom left, I was mad because she didn't have to go to school. But yeah, I probably did. I used to go to school with your mom a lot, like in the summertime.
Yes.
And on how the spring breaks and stuff. I used to go to UCLA all the time, and she'd put me in the hall and watch TV or listen to music while she went to class. But yeah, so powwows and different experience they had?
Yes.
I don't recall having one.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was completely different from theirs. But it was good. Yeah.
Did you attend Jordan High School?
I did. After Crenshaw, I attended Jordan High School.
And Sissy and Didi had gone in my stuff. Sissy said, more recently, she said I was real prissy. At first, I thought that was an insult. I guess it wasn't that bad. But I had to have what I had to have. I had shoes, cologne, and dresses, and what have you. And I didn't have the fancy dresses. Just nice clothes. Because Mama had a friend that worked for the white folks, and she would bring the clothes home, purses, shoes, what have you. The real good-looking guy that was on, what was the girl's name? She did this.
Is that Bewitched? I Dream of Jeannie?
Mm-mm.
Carol Burnett.
Carol Burnett show. Okay, the good-looking guy. I can't think of his name. Anyway, I ended up with her clothes, his wife's clothes. I had a double neck navy blue dress that was really beautiful. It had a cow neck stitched down with flaps on the sides.
I don't understand. You ended up with her clothes?
Hmm?
You ended up with her clothes? What do you mean by that?
They would get rid of their clothes. They would pass them on.
The actual stars of the show?
That was his wife. So Mutt worked for that family, and they tossed their stuff out.
Who is Mutt?
Marcel's mother.
Oh.
So Marcel and then his son, Ray Ray. And they are all descendants of Mutt. And they called her also, what else they call her? Well, we called him Mutt. I don't remember what else they called her. And she had a tragic ending in the sense that she got ripped off in the end. She trusted some guy, and he was older, and he ended up dying before her. And he had all her money, her retirement money. And because they weren't married, she didn't get her money. That was messed up. To be so trusting. You just can't be that trusting. I'm Vivian Evelyn Pitts Johnson. I am the third child of Florence Griffith Scott. I'm the oldest girl in the whole family.
Okay. All right. Happy birthday, Auntie Vivian.
Thank you, Larry. I appreciate that.
So the question of the hour is, how does our family feel about Tiffany Haddish playing Auntie Dee Dee in the new biopic that's coming out?
Personally, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Somebody's going to portray her one way or another, sooner or later. We have no control over that, so why, worry about it?
All right. So as I'm doing these interviews, I'm also learning about my aunts and uncles. So I know the birth order better than I've ever known it before. So my mom is the fourth born.
Yes.
And you are her older sister. You are the third born. Okay. Auntie Dee Dee was the seventh born, and so on and so forth. Okay. All right. And so we've gotten the big question out of the way about the biopic and Tiffany Haddish and so forth and so on. Please tell me something about our family that you think either I should know or, well, yes, I'm doing the interview, so tell me something. Teach me.
Growing up, we lived in the Compton area first, that I can recall. We started off, Mama has shown me where we started off on 108th and between Central and McKinley. And we started off there. And then when she met Robert Griffith, she married him in 1950. Wait a minute. I was 3 years old, because Kat was 2 and Weldon was 1. So it had to be in 1954 when they got married, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe before then, I don't know.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, it was 1954. Anyway, and we moved into the house in Compton on Albertson. And we went to Tibby's Elementary School for a little while. Mr. Griffith went into being a cowboy.
Compton cowboy.
Yeah, Compton cowboy. Because at that time you could have horses and you could have cows and you could have all kind of animals and chickens and rabbits and things. And my Aunt Bronetta was a lab, worked in a laboratory, I'll put it like that. And she would bring us the baby chicks and the baby rabbits and ducks at Easter time. So we had fun raising them until Mama decided that she wanted to put them on the plate for dinner.
Oh my God.
And it was traumatic.
Yes.
But it was cool. Like I said, we lived in Compton, and at that time the area on Central and Rosecrans, the south corner of Rosecrans, and the east corner of Central, it was a big farm. It was a big house, and that house was empty, but we could go inside of it, and upstairs they had a lot of books and things. And we could take the books home because nobody lived there. You know, it was just a chance that we got a better learning because we get read books by Emily Dickerson, Charles Dickens, Mark Twain. We had books that nobody else really had, so to say, that we could read. I mean, we put them back, but we had a chance to read the poems and the books and the stories and things. Our mama would read them to us. And I thought it was a good life. Everybody on the block was auntie this or auntie that or uncle so-and-so. We had to put a handle on people's names. And so since Mama didn't have any family here actually in California, then we developed family over the years and things. And these people stuck around with us until their time to go and die or whatever.
And so Grandma moved from North Carolina, Henderson, North Carolina, to California.
To California on her own.
On her own.
On her own.
Okay.
And then my Aunt Bronetta went to UCLA.
Yes.
Mama came out here to be a movie star.
Oh. Okay.
And, well, it didn't pan out. Anyway, and quickly having the birth of Weldon, Kat, and I, then that dream was kind of dashed.
Okay.
But other than that, she was happy. No matter what. She had her babies to keep her content and whatever. And she did what she had to do for all of us. And
all right, so you said there are 11 children.
Right.
And name them for us.
And the first one his name is Bobby Gerald. And then it's me, Weldon. Then it's Vivian, Kathleen, Robert, Elizabeth, Florence, Joseph, Lemuel, Gail, and Eugene.
And that's in order?
That's in order.
All right.
Straight in order.
No, 57, 58, and 59. Robert, Sissy, and Dee Dee. Then 61, Joe was born. 62, Lem was And then I kind of lose eras between Gail and Pancho. I think it was 2 years after that Gail came along, after Lem. And then Pancho came 2 years after Gail. So
Now,
that's kind of...
Pancho is Uncle Eugene.
Yes, Uncle Eugene.
But we know him and call him Pancho.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And his name came about because he was a Pancho Villa as a baby. He climbed, he did a whole lot of things. He just was busy.
All right.
To be as little as he was busy.
And Pancho Villa, the Mexican revolutionary figure,
yes,
was very active, rebellious, and...
No, he was... You saw him on... I can't think of the name of the Western that he was on. Pancho Villa was on The Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger.
He rode along with the Lone Ranger.
Okay.
And Pancho Villa seemed to be the one that always seemed to get in trouble, or he was the one that always, was always busy.
Okay.
In the script. And that's why Pancho got his nickname.
All right. Did you like those powwows?
I'll put it like this. No, not really. But it was the way of her, keeping us in... So many children, you can't go up there and just let them run loose. You can't let them run wild or whatever. And you have to haul them back in every so often. And this is what she did. She hauled us back in on Thursday.
Now, my mom said that when asked, Auntie Didi said she didn't like the powwows because at the end of the powwows, she would...
You got a spanking or you got punishment or whatever happened. Yeah. And that's the way it went. Those were Mama's rules.
And we're, this is just a short, short interview. So you said that you went to Tibby's.
Mm-hmm.
So
Tibby Elementary here in Compton.
Okay. Did everyone go to school?
Everybody went to school.
Went to the same school.
No, everybody did not go to the same school because we moved to Little Rock, California in 1958. Had to be before 58 because Sissy was born, and she was born in a truck on the way back from the Antelope Valley to, now I can't think of the name of the city, Burbank.
Okay.
We had to go to Burbank for the hospital because there was no hospital in Little Rock or Palmdale at that time. It was just plain desert. And Sissy was born in the truck on the way back, on the way there. And we got to see her before the doctor saw her, which was a thrill. You don't get to see the birth or anything, but you get to see the baby after she's born, before she goes into the hospital. And that was interesting. And then Joe did the same thing when he was born. So we got a chance to hear him, his first cry, and, get a chance to see him. So it was interesting. It was like, being on the desert, we had animals that had babies. So it was nothing to us to know how the birthing process was. It was interesting. It was, there.
And, but back to the schools, you attended Tibby's?
Weldon, Kat, and I attended Tibby's. Kat was in the first grade when we left there.
And so Uncle Weldon said everyone attended Jordan High School?
Everyone attended Jordan High School because in 1964, my mother left my stepfather for his mean ways. He was very cruel. He was cruel to Weldon, Kat, and I very much. And Mama didn't like that. And she took all of us, she took the first 3 of us, and came to Los Angeles on her own. And we stayed with friends. Sometimes we, bunked down at the shelter. We stayed at the Salvation Army shelter. We slept in the car. Whatever was meanable, And a week later, not even a week, I don't think it was. I think it was 3 or 4 days. She decided to go and get the rest of the kids. And on this particular day, we drove to Little Rock, and as you get close to Little Rock, there's a fork in the road, kind of like. And she called the police before we left Los Angeles to let them know that she was coming to get her children. And the police said, well, we'll meet you at the fork, which they did. And they proceeded to take us to the house. They took us to the house, and Mr. Griffith went off like he normally does. And Mama stood back. She didn't say nothing or anything. She had already told the police what she wanted and everything. She just wanted her children.
Oh.
So they told my mother to grab everything that she wanted to get out of the house. And I can never forget how many sheets of clothing that were just bundled up in that van. We had a 1952 Chevy van.
Wow.
And Mama piled everything in there with us. And we drove back to Los Angeles.
Okay.
And that's how we ended up in Los Angeles. Then we ended up, she hunted around and everything, and she found us a 2-bedroom triplex over in the Willowbrook area. So off we transferred to Mona Park. I can't think of what's the name of the other school, but Willowbrook and Bunch.
Okay.
And that's where we went to school for a little bit. No, Bunch was after she moved to Miramonte and I think it's 58th Street. 68, I don't know. Anyway, turned around. We went to Bunch, to, I can't think of the middle school. We moved to when, but the place was full of rats. Mama said she was not going to live in no house with rats. So, guess what?
It's that brown house, wasn't it?
No,
Yeah.
the brown. They still have the same walkway and everything. I would love to go in there and see Dee Dee's pictures and stuff. See, it says, welcome to Joyner.
They're open.
Yeah, they're open. This is LA Unified. That's the whole, now that's the 102nd Early Education Center. It's on it. It was train tracks all the way through here. And what happened was they took the train and decided they were going to tear down the, we went to this church right here. Happy's Hamburger used to be right there, huh, Roosevelt?
Yeah. The best hamburgers in the state of California.
Yep, they were. For 20 cents.
I mean, 3/4 pounds of beef.
Oh, it's closed off. I don't know. It might be an opening over here. Oh, no, that's not the one I want. I want the other side of this. It's a street. No, I guess it is. I don't know. I'm trying to see how you get through there. Oh, okay. Yes, it's not a big street. Okay. Now, there's the watchtower. She was in real good. 107.
This is also where Nipsey came to learn how to use the how to produce music.
What's his name? Made a movie.
Now you wanna start?